too crazy. I also think that we've not seen that much Zipan on Fade. It's not, I think 3 times he's played it because he's normally playing the KO and then obviously you have Xiao for the Fade. So they're clearly testing some different things. I said it to you already. I would be intrigued to see if they ran this comp if they lost the first map.
Well, that is true. Look, knowing Angel, I will never attempt to see inside that man's mind. That is a scary, scary place. But I imagine the rest of the team might be screaming at him, please, please no, don't pick the Yoru if it was this, but we'll see. CNED already down. The agent that we're talking about not finding value here in the pistol was a sneak play up towards Arcade, and a B blitz is what they're looking for afterwards. Killjoy here, 3 players in position. Nade still online for Cutie. A lot that they're, and a Molly for Aslan. They're running into a hell of a lot here.
Yeah, this looks pretty rough, especially with how aggressive some of the players are on the other side of the map. I'm actually surprised we're seeing a rotation. Maybe just looking for somewhat of a read, but I guess with just the amount of util that they have available to them, they don't really need to gamble too much. Angel also destroying the turret, and Xiao has managed to find Kushner. That at least cuts off some of the rotation, and Aslan now getting aggressive. This is starting to look very problematic indeed.
Oh, yeah. Look, once you lose Aslan there as well, at least he'd already got the nanos out, but they'd come the other side, completely bypass his utility, and bypass that hold. Now into a 4 versus 2 damage done. Yeah, it's pretty decent. A few tags onto the Navi players, but Suchny and Turco need to be tapping heads on the way through here. This has to be clean if they're to have any hope. And that Viper's wall, it's only going to cause a few more problems for them. That's online now for the rest. They're going to break through, lose a bit of HP, and, well, lose the rest of it shortly after by the looks of things. There we go, 1-0, and Navi take the pistol.
This is going to be one of those sort of interesting things for me because I always remember like the conversations with Ardis and the jokes that were had between him and Angel, where Angel would try and convince him to play Yoru, he would decline, and then Angel would do it himself.
Yep.
Now, he's clearly managed to convince CNED to do it, which maybe that's a good sign going into the future, that CNED is willing to be more flexible, someone who's renowned for that individual skill on the jet, and mostly that, like not really known for any other agent other, so I think it definitely is a sign that he's willing to try and be more flexible. I'm going to go ahead and predict that Navi win this map, and it's absolutely nothing to do with the Yoru. That's my prediction.
I think you're probably spot on there.
I reckon he gets like 10 to 15 kills, and they still win.
Okay, that's a bold prediction. You've gone in for numbers as well, so
yep.
we can hold you accountable on that. I like that. I enjoy that quite a bit.
If I'm wrong, then it's probably very enjoyable.
It's true, unless he's got 4 kills. And that's... Oh, okay. Nice little shot off the rip from Angel. And of course, you're coming in here with 2 pistols as Navi. One of them's already come out to find that kill. It's a nice start. BBL have done damage before with this kind of buy, although it does rely on Navi gambling incorrectly, and then moving towards the site that's stacked up, and they might be. That Yoru you see on B is a decoy. The majority of the team is here, looking to fight. That's where the pistols come blitzing through, and it's a meat grinder spike on the floor. Navi on a man disadvantage, lost another, and the last man standing is Angel. Started this out by tapping with a ghost, and he'll have to finish it in the same fashion.
Oh, this has gone so terribly wrong. There's one of those scenarios where you talk about the fact that they have the risks of their rifles, but the fact is, it was the players with the rifles that were fought. That was the ones that they went peeking into, and BBL just landed every single shot. Turco with a huge multi-frag to bring them back the round, a huge boost for them going into this next one. And what, this is normally the case where you go, okay, well, Navi can still invest a little bit back in because of those players that saved. So you're going to have a rifle onto Angel and onto Saigetsu. So for the Logitech G power-up round, you're basically hoping that all of that power is put straight into those 2 players.
The opportunities that it still gives them sure are good, but landing the shot something different. Saigetsu off to a great start. That's going to be another weapon potentially recovered for the team. And Aslan, okay, good for 1, but that's all. The trades are too quick with 2 players ready to swing on and a Yoru TP that was ready to be used. Gate crashing B, never been easier. They should be able to grab a plant.
The spike hasn't crossed.
But that's the one problem.
Yeah, they
waiting for Viper Wall. No, they don't have Viper Wall, so Saigetsu died.
Yeah, this now becomes a little bit of a problem. There's a real chance to catch this and actually not watching the angle at all. A mistake made. A spam through from Kushner actually doesn't do that much damage at all, but the nade, he can delay. That's the thing. The whole plan is to give some space to Suchny to come in from behind. Even has util to try and bait them out a little bit. And with the stun coming through onto Angel, the peek out from CNED at least will garner them back into an even scenario once again.
The TP. CNED doesn't know there's a player close to him. Great repositioning from Suchny. He was looking to go underneath there. ends up catching CNET out on the sound cue. This one looks done and dusted. Angel struggling to even plant with the shots through the wall. 1v2, tag down to 40 to 13. A chance maybe. He needs the headshot on this swing. Suchny is known to be towards main. He could have snuck around, but there he is, and Angel's got him. A gorgeous play from the IGL of NAVI to steal back the lead.
Oh, I can't resist myself saying it. They didn't deserve to win that round. The spike didn't manage to cross. They basically got caught by everything Suchny was doing, even with the sort of TP back to go and get it and bringing it up. But Angel just wins them the round. That 1v2 clutch on low HP, and BBL have got to be absolutely kicking themselves. 2-1. Now they come up with sort of a mixed buy of their own. Aslan bringing in a judge and rifles on some of the remaining players. It's been a very weird start. And it sort of matches the end we had to the last map as well.
Yeah, look, we've come out with all things balanced, I suppose. BBL at a bit of a disadvantage. Brave and Aslan in particular certainly have their weaknesses. And they're trying to make up for this with some aggression early. They've got Dish early on. BBL seeing there's no players around there. I don't know if they spotted the cam passive holding north side, which would be... I assume they didn't because they would have shot it. And so for Navi, they still have that control. They know that entire north side is clear. They're fighting south as well, clearing out main. But the foothold is there in the early round. I still think, you know, when you come to that minute mark, Navi are literally just looking for BBL to push. They're just allowing them to play the early round how they want, and late on they'll make these blitz executes if there's no mistakes made.
Suchny utilizing the C's. CNET just trying to take a little bit of extra space into the site, and they're going to be able to get the afterplant for main. This becomes a very difficult scenario, especially with a pistol and a judge to try and get back through. Decent stun though will leave Zipan in a lot of trouble. Still haven't managed to clear him though. Just sat in this corner with support from teammates. He's managed to survive. All that util for nothing.
That's it. It is the support that's coming through. Sagetsu, though, well, he's met his end. They have an idea that Zipan's here on the drop, though. They seem to have forgotten, focused elsewhere as the teammates come out of spawn to deal with him, and they're not doing that. Zipan's got them all. Clean house for him. All four remaining players dealt with, and Navi, they continue to extend this lead. Look, a great start to this map when BBL took that second round, but signs of life been fading ever since then.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It's been the individuals. Like, just a huge round coming out from Zipan. And that's the thing, they threw so much utility in his direction, but just from the little bit of support he had, they were unable to clear him. And I think they then just forget, they go, okay, well, we've aftershock, we've stunned, we put everything there. There's no way there's still a player there with two players here. So it's just an oversight in the end from BBO. Had the right idea and managed to make things, again, very, very costly. And now come back up with another purchase. And their ult's starting to come online. The thing is, though, so are their opponents.
Utility just got spotted coming up and over to B. That orb was seen. Landed right in front of Brave. He hasn't popped the smoke just yet, though. Navi are on their way around. You know, okay, it's buying him a little bit extra time on that smoke rotation coming in from Cutie as well. It was just one away from a showstopper. This round could very quickly spiral out of control, not to mention Brave having his orbital strike. Here comes the TP. It's going to move in behind the Viper wall. A safe corner for CNET to play on. A decoy out. They're shooting at it. They're not grabbing anything. Brave was finding a double, but now look who's all alone. It's Aslan. They know where he is. They know he's got a judge as well. I didn't think they'd go pushing him, but Angel had other ideas. They blitzed him from each side, took him out, left no opportunity for any sort of fallback, any sort of safe haven. And BBL only have Turco to try and clutch this out. Might have his rolling thunder if he gets a kill, but that is a long shot.
Yeah, he had the spike. That was the reason they were challenging him. The second time we've seen Navi maybe just leave that one behind. We'll see if they eventually end up getting punished for it, because they managed to sort of skate their way through over the last couple of rounds. But that's the thing, they seem to, a lot of what I'm enjoying, it actually comes off of Sagetsu's utility. Like, because he's managing to just make a lot of these battles awkward by having like snakebite lineups for tower and just making sure that there's no retreat for these players battling forward. And even though Brave actually does a fantastic job of getting two before going down, it's still just some of those positions that they're able to take while all of this chaos is going on. It kind of works out in their favor.
Thriving in chaos, it's not a new accolade for someone like Angel, that's for sure. This man manufactures it on a daily basis. As we move into round number 6, there's certainly quite a chaotic round ahead of them, potentially. 4 ultis online. BBL have a ton to work with, a ton of responses, but they're not going to be keen to put those out, at least most likely. Just with the pistols to back them up, they kind of need a reason, an excuse to fire something like that out. Here comes the decoy, going to be flashing up. TP not yet used. Here it comes, though. Flash out, gate crash in. He's blinded himself, timing off a little bit, but it's got them to space. And now the site should be theirs. That said, they've lost Xiao on the cross. I mean, was that a blind fire from just miles away with a Sheriff? You don't get those all too often, and a good nade as well. This could get dangerous, and, well, it did.
Yeah, CNED just cleaning things up. Again, a lot of it just seems like, especially in this round, he's just able to farm up some of those kills. Already had his ult online, so it's not going to have a massive difference to anything there. But they managed to sort of rectify things. And again, the issue I'm finding for BBL is it almost seems like they're waiting for NAVI to execute onto them. And that, for me, is such a dangerous prospect when you're on a map like Fracture. Like, the amount of times there just hasn't been any map control fought for. You can't allow a team to just, especially a team that's running a composition that ultimately allows them to take huge amounts of space with the likes of a Yoru and clear things out with the likes of a Fade. Like, it's just becoming too easy for them to do anything. Oh, okay, this is a complete change of pace. Like, you have a round where basically you stay completely passive, and this time they fight all the way towards the spawn.
Xiao's managed to catch someone north side, but it's the spike down that's a problem. Showstopper even committed. Cutie really doesn't want to leave this round behind, and BBL, well, they're committing as full as they can now. One downside, Xiao's got his ult. He can actually recover that spike. Potentially. We'll see him make his way up here, but he also needs a foothold to bring that spike to, and right now, no sight control, nothing for him.
But the fact that Aslan has not moved makes me think that they're aware of this. Cushion are also looking to fight forward. Might give him a duel. Actually, could give him a chance to turn this into a 1v3. I don't know if Xiao's going to be expecting anybody to be this close, and he's crossed the second before. Is he actually going to check this? Oh, yeah, never mind. No, he didn't check it. I think he just got shot.
The other way.
Yeah, no, that was just him walking backwards. There's no way.
That was a decoy grenade went off in his pocket. He wasn't shooting. Don't worry about that. 5-2. Yeah, look, BBL, they pick up a round, but we need to see a little more from them. That was obviously off the back of a Rolling Thunder showstopper committed early, and they managed to drop the spike. You know, that was not a repeatable round, but certainly one to get you back on the board.
Yeah, and I think that maybe starting to have that realization of, okay, we can't just allow them to have this map control. We've got to start fighting forward. We've got to start putting the pressure on, and they're going to do it again. Look how many players they have building up over towards Dish. 4 getting ready to make that move forward. This is a pretty bold play. I don't know if this is a read, and especially they're walking straight into a cam. So I'm pretty sure if Angels actually manage to see that many players, they could just go executing into this B site.
Bring them down.
I mean, with 4 players making their way, these guys are going back to watch it. I don't think they have an iota of how many of the other side were sat there waiting. Zipan, look, hiding in the corner is not a bad idea a lot of the time, but there's so many players coming. He needs the distraction, and it was there. Firing away from down below, but he's only got the one for his trouble, and here comes an orbital strike. He just accepted his fate there. There was nothing to be done.
Yeah, CNED actually, I think, just using the dimensional drift to get out of there. Take some map control back for the rest of the team. Now they do actually have, this time, the Viper screen available to cross in towards the site. Rotation coming through for Brave. He's definitely going to hear the step, trying to spam with the Vandal. Almost takes out Xiao. A chance to give them an advantage, and while Turco does get faked out, so he'll be sat back with a Viper's Pit down. This is not going to be an easy retake.
Dimensional Drift and Pit, I mean, already been a pretty expensive round, but, I mean, they can be thankful that Brave used his ulti. An Orbital Strike online now could cause some serious problems, but instead, NAVI have a great anchor to play off of. Spike being planted, and they're going to try to deny it. They've done exactly that, and that's the Pit down. Only a couple of seconds left. Look who's behind them! A great angle from CNED. But the time here to issue the spike behind, he is out to try and save. Both players that were remaining were on his screen there, Tom. He had a chance, but it's just a little too much to expect from him.
Yeah, it would have been the most CNED thing ever to just somehow manage to win that round, but that was just perfect. The Nightfall that was utilized there from Suchny, I think catches every single player. So then they know exactly where the plant's coming through, they know exactly where the remainder are, and all it really took was that little bit of extra spam. I do think that if you're Zipan here, you're just sat there going, oh, come on, screw you guys. You've aftershot me, stunned me, and utilized that.
That spray from Brave, you know, I thought at first, maybe when they put out that Nightfall, that the trail had sort of given it away for the player who got the kill, that maybe he could see it going into the pit and thought, oh, it's being planted somewhere over there. But that was truly just blind fire that landed, took down the pit, took down the planter, and changed the round entirely. I mean, if he doesn't hit even one of those, that last bullet, who knows how that one ends up. A BBL come out on top. They close in the distance, and now they look for a fight on A main. 3 players up close, and look how passive their B play is. They're just sat back with Killjoy utility holding it. It's not often you see this sort of approach, and when you do, it's often because they have something like a Rolling Thunder, a Showstopper, where you just want it locked down exactly. You want to stay way off the site.
That seems to be the plan. Lockdown retake. Not really going to be anything on the other side to be able to destroy it either, so especially if they can reclaim under, that'll make things quite a bit easier. Again, we're seeing this 3-man push. I've liked this from BBL. They adapted. The first 5 rounds, they were super passive, waiting for these pushes to come through. Now, oh, they don't expect Angel to be here, but even still, a 1-for-1 trade. And now the rest of NAVI, they kind of have to get a move on because they are being crunched on.
Oh, a sneaky play.
30 seconds left.
Just watching Zipan for a moment. He's sticking around behind, trying to catch someone making their way in late, but they haven't caught Cutie. That angle, that timing, perfect. They've gone through the smoke at just the right time, though. CNED ends up, missing it by a bullet. So close, but, well, he's in a lot of trouble now. They're trying to find him. He's not going to get the weapon out, surely. That was a little too close. We've come back to a 2v2. A shot from Xiao puts them ahead, and they've spotted Cutie. They know where he is, and defusing this, it should be difficult. The time on their side, and it's not even being stuck. A double swing, but he's got it! Cutie lands him for 3! BBL should not have gotten away with that round, but their savior here at the last second. A clutch, a Red Bull clutch at that. Much the storyline that I subscribe to.
Especially after Zipan gets like the 4K, you also had the 1v2 clutch. Like a lot of the rounds that NAVI have won have actually come down to the finest of margins, just like that last one did. I feel like the scoreline's actually reasonably fair, especially since BBL have started to challenge. Like, that's been the main thing. When they were playing super passive, I was thinking this game is over. Like it just didn't look like a team that knew what they were doing on this map, but they've adapted. They've started to fight for control. They've started to make a lot of these executions a lot more awkward. I think Cena's about to try and TP in behind them.
He is indeed.
They're completely blind. A beautiful setup coming through, but Suchi's still here. He's still alive, well, he was.
I love the idea, man. The Nightfall, and just as it lands, the TP comes through. That player blinded up, unaware of what's going on, where they could be. Really, really nice game plan there for NAVI, and I think some of those ideas are always great to look at. When they swap over to the defensive side, it's not as easy to set those sort of things up. Like you're saying, this is where the value, I think, can be found for NAVI on this attack, and rounds like that definitely underline it.
But that was always the coolest things about teams like PaperX when they ran like a Yoru on Bind. It was, the Yoru was a big part of their set plays. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, yeah, we're just going to send Jason and he's going to try and kill everyone. It was like, okay.
Which would be a good strategy as well,
yeah,
let's be honest.
He's pretty good at that sort of stuff. But it was also just that they had so many different plans. It's like, okay, we're going to wait for them to push. We're going to Nightfall. We're then going to have a flash that pops in the player's face as they try to turn away. So the guy is literally blind, deafened, and marked. And then CNED, you're going to TP in to an angle that he's not going to check and get a free kill. Like, that's the easiest kill of CNED's entire life, and it's all based around everything that NAVI put into that plan. So if they got more stuff like that, I'm sold. But we'll see.
Look at that from his perspective. He just saw him. He's looking towards main. He's like, oh, there's a Nightfall coming for me. I'll try run out of it. Oh, there's a flash in front of me. I'll turn around. Now I'm hit by Nightfall. I'm blinded, and I've just been shot in the side of the head by a guy who shouldn't have been behind that box. How could he even be there? Well, gate crash. That's how. You know, not many players are going to be comfortable, like second nature comfortable
the
playing
10 to 15 kills might be, he's already at 14, so I might be in a bit of trouble with that prediction.
Well, listen, Tom, we didn't even, the best part is we didn't even ask you for a number. You know, that was your own volition.
But
look at this hold. This is dangerous. 2 players on the firing squad, but that flash was gorgeous. Great work from Turco.
No, he's been imperative in their aggressive setups, and Cena going to be taking that space onto the back of A site. Xiao as well has managed to find another opener. And the thing is, with the lurk coming through from Angel, they might start going back in the other direction. Xiao actually has his TP as well, if they desire it.
They're leaving the TP. They're leaving the TP all the way through, but they've spotted it. I mean, Cutie is fully aware that that is
But that's another
a
ruse.
possible play. And exactly, look at where Cutie, look at his pathing. He's moving back, he's looking over here, and then finally the TP comes through and it's a fake. Is not even sure where to go himself now. That player could have ran all the way back around to be at this stage, but instead they've been waiting the entire time to make this play, get that spike onto the site.
He's got showstopper.
Double shrouded step.
30 seconds left.
And here we go. Cutie is close with the showstopper, but I don't see him blind firing that. They do know he's in the corner, though. That might be the selling point.
Spike planted.
He's taking damage. He's going to go down. That's huge. And then with this showstopper in the retake, there's a real opportunity for them to get back into this one. CNED knowing that, okay, I need to try and play that a little bit more aggressive. Counter flash out to try and buy them a little bit of time, but both are now completely committed to main.
Oh, he really thought they'd be close on that one. Still, it works out just fine. One more angle cleared, one less to worry about, and he's looking right at CNED's head when he rounds the corner. Team Ace, BBL up to 5. And all in all, this is a solid half for them again. Lost the pistol, went 5-1 down. And this is the map that we very much said they're dead in the water when it comes to. They needed Ascent if they were to push to map 3, but BBL are contesting that theory.
But this is the cool thing. They've clearly got a lot of set plays of their own, which I think have been imperative for them being able to deny NAVI the ability to go for their set plays. Because that's the thing with this composition, is you're going to have a lot of cool ideas, but ultimately if a team can disrupt those and stop you from doing them in the first place, then it kind of falls flat on its face. And that's what BBL have done over the last like 5 or 6 rounds. So great work from them. Again, they're going to be challenging for the extremity. Is a chance for Angel to get a free kill. Was that Kushin going for the orb?
I would hope
Surely not. It must have been Turco, right? Because Kushin is so far away from himself.
So ulti right through, and this is an ambitious play to say the least. He doesn't know there's a player beside him. Oh, that's a disaster. Unlucky for CNED. You got to look both ways before crossing that street. And BBL, it left him as roadkill. Quick plant, though, for Zipan. Something to work with later. But look at the utility. 3 players up above. There's nowhere he can go except backwards. And even then, if you turtle up, you're going to lose that fight. They need some ground to fight for and to fight with. And it's just not coming their way. BBL storming into the site, winning every fight, and Xiao's got to clutch it out. No flash for him here. And that's all she wrote. 6-6 at halftime. An impressive display from BBL.
They have a Yoru and a Fade. Because like you can also just play the one-ways off the back of Xiao and really delay a lot of these pushes, but you can't really play passive with the Yoru. It doesn't work.
No, it's not something that you'll see all too often. Even just for the quicker TPs, you spot info on A, nobody there, you're TP'd, you're on B site, those sort of things. And it is just more common to see the aggression. That's why we're seeing CNED push all the way down under. Had support from Xiao for a moment, but now it's just going to be him taking this fight against 3 in the TP. Not quite as quick as Chamber, unfortunately. He's caught in the animation. That's stunned perfect onto Xiao. Does Aslan want to contest? No. No, he gives it up.
Managing to use the Viper screen as an escape and leaving single defender on the other side. Xiao as clean as ever. It's going to give them another kill, another advantage in this second pistol round. And the rest of the team, at least on the attack, starting to try and build back up to still hit into this B site, but they are losing these individual fights. This is an optimistic battle to take, and well, maybe a little over-optimistic.
Yeah, it had to be timing there, like while he swings out to watch Arcade or something, but Sugensu was staring straight at the angle, ready for it. Looks like another pistol loss for BBL. Brave gonna have to put on his brave face for a 1v4. First already under his belt, but no more to be found. That's NAVI with another pistol round. We've said it a million times, you win both pistols on a map, you usually win the map, but a little different here with how close it's ended up being.
If you win both pistols on a map, your opponent doesn't play, then I think you should definitely close out the map. But yeah, that was the thing. It was actually the later half that BBL actually came back and started winning. So it is possible that they build into this one again. We're actually seeing 3 Bulldogs. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel a little bit dirty. Like it's just like, I feel like I need a wash after seeing 3 Bulldogs and 2 pistols.
It's a powerful buy, I think, when you combine it with some of the utility that can be in play. But I mean, even looking at Angel in this one, right?
What about him? What about him, bro? Sorry, you were looking at Angel. What did you want to look at Angel about?
It's okay.
You were saying something about Angel and looking at him.
Yeah, I thought, really important to have his traps online. Good thing he He had all that utility invested into.
Yeah. Okay. So what bit of Angel's utility should I be looking at?
The trap. You can see it there on the wall. It's actually, it was holding the info as they push up, but
that's cool.
yeah, it's not doing that anymore. Unfortunately, a little unlucky on the timing, but you know, these things happen. BBL, they've got the man advantage. The Bulldog has been picked up though, similar to what we saw in the previous map.
Yeah.
You lose a player early in this, sure, it's a rifle down, but then one of your pistols just picks that up and you're right back to square one.
See, this is, looking at this map right now is just wild.
It's strange.
Like, it's almost like it's in reverse. Because you've got all the attackers basically moving their way in towards this A side, which currently has nobody on it. It's completely clear.
They're both attacking A. Both teams are attacking A right now.
30 seconds left.
Now, getting past this turret's not going to be easy. I think they were maybe hoping that there'd be some sort of gap. Space going to be taken by Kushner. Not going to have too many problems getting the plant, although there was a moment there for Xiao. But yeah, I still just feel like retaking with Bulldog's going to be a problem. But they actually smoked off the turret.
Smart play. Decoy going out, but it's not even spotted. Look, these players are turtled up on the side. They don't have space to fight from. Nade was decent. Turco's just gotten a double. Excuse me? CNED's TP at least saving them somewhat, but this has gotten a little bit too close for comfort. Turco looking to work his magic yet again. He's not able to land the fight just yet, and in the end, it will not go his way. But one hell of a fight from that man and from BBL. Good damage. But because of the buy that's come in, 3 kills only translates to 1 Bulldog lost, which...
Yeah, they'll buy rifles.
That's the real sting of that round. Even though it feels like you made it super close, the impact isn't there.
Yeah, and now it basically comes down to BBL to face off against almost a full buy. And if you lose this round, NAVI are just going to springboard straight into it. So that's the thing that makes this one that little bit more awkward, and it definitely is a Logitech G power-up round, because if NAVI get this one over the line, they could basically just run away with this half. So still, Turco doing a lot of damage. It seems to be the maestro of those second rounds. By the looks of it, they might be about to pick up the pace a little bit in towards this B side early, but already just being hit by a bucket load of utility in the early stages of the round.
Yeah, the stopping power from Navi over here is certainly strong, and I think their disruption as well with CNED floating around. There's so many problems to consider for BBL, and right away, after running into that utility, they take the orb, they pump the brakes. Now, they haven't gone back yet. They're holding for a peak. Maybe looking for this team to retake that control, right? You haven't seen anybody for 20, 30 seconds, and that's when you'll start to make your way forward. What's coming their way is a decoy, and I think they're still going to shoot it just off instinct, just for precaution. You don't want to give CNED that half a second window to adjust his aim, and you are done. But with that, you know, this is great information for Navi. They put out that decoy, they see there's still players there, and I think at this point, they've got a good read on what's going down.
The thing is, Brave should be able to get his orbital strike. Like, I think that's the goal. Pick up the orb on one side, go back over to the other side, retrieve that orb for the orbital strike, and then that can take them an awful lot of space. Actually, look at where Angel is. He's just given up the site, I think realizing how likely that ult is to come in. And after setting up his teammate to take the space, Navi are having to play this full retake.
Yeah, conceding it completely, actually. You know, for a second, I saw CNED go for the fight on site, catch them coming out of drop, but they decide instead that it's towards A main, they've got to take it. The TP, oh. I mean, the TP's not in a great spot here. I think that was more for the initial fight. Now it's time to make their way towards the site. Flashes have been good to keep them off the angles, but when the duels come in, they go BBL's way. 7 on the board now, and that was a blink and you miss it conclusion to the round. A blitz, followed by a flurry of frags.
Yeah,
they
didn't even need the orbital strike in the end. Brave was still just sat back holding. And the thing is, Navi do well to sort of, like, their flashes were sublime. Like, you saw pretty much everybody peeking in towards main get caught by the initial Yoru flash. Then you also had, I think, a Paranoia coming through, which catches half the team as well. They're just not able to capitalize. And then at that point, it comes down to raw individual fights. And I think you're going to bank on BBL the majority of the time it comes down to that.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, when you go in and try to raw aim duel some Turkish players, you are making a mistake, the majority of times, at least. 1 round between them. And BBL, they might be trailing, but they're certainly starting to pick up some steam. They're starting to look solid. Rifles in play for Navi, though, could cause problems. The ultimate's stronger for BBL, so the safety nets definitely looking good for this attack side. Starting to move their way towards the B side. Again, Angel's utility set up masterfully here, Tom. Hopefully it doesn't go down right away.
Yeah, that would be a shame, wouldn't it?
It never happens, though.
Now playing off site again. I think realizing that with Nightfall available, Orbital Strike, you don't want to be anywhere near that tower. It's going to connect onto absolutely no one. The trip is perfect. Saigetsu gets one for free. That's Kushina down. Not a man you want to be losing early in this round. And with an opportunity to get into an afterplant, they're actually going to get him. It's the snake bite and then spam coming through from Angel. Doing so much in terms of damage, not getting the kills for it necessarily, but now they have to try and fight forward. Aslan looking like he's in no man's land, just looking to try and get something here. And Saigetsu get his third, fourth even, maybe even trying to go for the ace, and it's left all on to Suchny.
There you go. An ace in the end. Just unfathomable stuff out of this man, and that sends them into a 2-round lead. It also puts a lot of stress on BBL. They've committed their ultimates to that, you know, for quite a while now. We've seen that orbital strike be held. It was thrown in for that very fight. Yeah. And they had some good positions as well to catch Navi off guard.
That's the thing. This round is a perfect example of Navi reading exactly what their opponents are going to do. Like, okay, you know they have Nightfall. Let's stand in spots where no matter where they use this Nightfall, unless they put it straight in towards the spawn, it's not going to get anybody. Let's set up our trip so that all we have to do is catch someone, and then we can get them on the cross. Like, that was just masterfully played by Navi, and BBL fell for everything. And now you kind of look at the buy that's coming back in. You mentioned ults. Those are gone. It's a rough spot for BBL.
You could see the intention as well, even from the get-go. Just look over on the B side at the Viper wall that's in play. Very different to last round. It was horizontal, cutting off Heaven and cutting off the push from Arcade. Literally, that is a retake wall that went out last round. They telegraphed it from second one. BBL weren't able to spot that in time. They ran into the trap, and now that's going to be in the back of their mind. Their economy down low, weaknesses starting to show. Navi sitting pretty. Silva Viper's pit to work with as well if things go awry. Xiao seem to be in a bit of trouble, and indeed taken down after just one. This could be scary. CNED throwing out some of his utility. The decoy spotted, but they're not going to destroy it. The flash is good, but nothing really. He got the one on the last bullet, but that trade puts Brave in with a chance to get that sight.
An opportunity for the spike, but he's going to need some support from Aslan. It's just going to have to be the default plant. Aslan, in the meantime, has actually decided to get that little bit more aggressive. This battle between him and Saigetsu could actually be everything, but in fact, they're going to avoid each other. And now he's screwed. He has to basically catch them on the cross and hope that nobody goes through main, because he doesn't have an angle on this spot whatsoever. He knows where the cam is, has seen that no one's crossed to the side just yet, but he doesn't get anything on the cross. Just hoping to pre-aim Angel, and instead Angel is going to close out the round. 10 now on the board for Navi. They are starting to run away with this defensive half.
Yeah, they definitely are, and in many different...
Take onto the site.
Well, a few seconds remaining, and barriers go up. BBL so close to a lot of these ultimates. Plenty of orbs to be fought for. The pace, though, different from Navi. They're blitzing up north side, spotting it's clear. And from here, where do they move with the round? You know, if you're defensive side, you know that it's going to be south side push. They've got utility on B, and that's the backup they needed. The Viper's pit just to double down on A main. At this point, there's not really an easy solution. Maybe an arcade cross. I mean, that's the one place that they've left kind of open, and the move up into Heaven. Outside of that, they're sitting pretty on this A site, and that's exactly where BBL are making their way towards.
Opportunity here. Slight misread initially on the position, but instead he's going to drop the spike. He now has his Nightfall as well, so can make this even more awkward. Saigetsu just surviving within his Viper space, not going to get taken out. He holds the line, and now Cutie is the only one left. 1 versus 5, spike on the ground, 40 seconds, and a miracle needed.
I mean, this would have to be the best round we've seen out of BBL, out of probably anyone to date. Surrounded and up against one of the best teams in the world. That's the expected outcome. 11-7. 2 more rounds now for Navi to walk away with this series 2-0. Add another loss to BBL's track record, and it's devastating when we consider how close they've been. Even in that Fnatic game, they could have won that series. 13-11, I believe, on the last map. And a convincing ascent for them. BBL, indeed, even here on Ascent, that could have been the opportunity to push it up all the way, but now the hardest challenge for them, their opponent's map, one they haven't played this year and one that they're not looking too hot on just yet. Ultis to fall back on maybe, but Navi have just the same.
problem is as well, they're basically playing for OT. The weaponry that they've invested is not a heavy purchase. And also just look at the control that NAVI have managed to take. They have altered their positions every single round. Like, you look at the take that's going for, I think BBL are almost going to be confused. And Angel's position, Aslan just not checking it. The flash gets nothing, and Angel just taking this round on his own. Suchni, the only one remaining, and while Saigetsu will put him in the dirt. But what an absurdity from Angel with that 4K. And well, if they weren't mentally checked out before, they are now.
Yeah, that might do it for you. Also, Angel's got the neural theft, so watch out. This round is...
That's why Kikuku's so excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, she sees that ult online. You know it's about to go crazy. 5 in a row needed for BBL here to get back into it. It really doesn't feel like a deserved scoreline. Again, looking at the game, and I'm not trying to take anything away from NAVI, I want to see BBL have that consistent form to them. They've got all the right pieces, but right here, NAVI, they're putting them together better. The puzzles coming into full shape, and for BBL, the push on B. All 5 players looking here, a passive play, watching the flank, and this is going to be Turco with a triple! Absolutely ripping their heads off. Nothing left for NAVI in this round already. It's a 2v5 and they've got rifles. What's just happened?
I'm starting to think that Turco should just play Sheriff. Like, genuinely. We've seen multiple rounds now where he just seems to rip heads the second he has that gun in hand. And it wasn't even like they sort of solo peaked. He was just able to somehow take those fights with his team. The thing is, though, this round's not done. Turco going down gives a slight opportunity. Financially, NAVI are in an amazing spot. These players can all die and it's not going to cause any issues. They might look to make this one as costly as possible. Xiao even teleporting into the site, he's going to go down, and Zipan will as well. BBL, their lifeline has been grasped off the back of Turco, but they need 4 more of those.
And this is it. NAVI are constantly switching up how they're holding these sites. We saw just a moment ago Angel playing with his camera, watching on arcade. Okay, yeah.
It's just grotesque.
All 3 in a row as well? No, that is actually ridiculous. But we saw that Angel was holding it with his camera on arcade. They had that Viper wall in play, and then you had Saigetsu playing up close, like a triple bait. First you see the utility, then the wall, then the Angel, and then Saigetsu turns you into one. I mean, really nice setups that were in play. It didn't get challenged, and it didn't get seen. So maybe that'll come into play further down the line if BBL can manage to keep it going.
So what we've been waiting for. Looked like there was a chance for Cena to get a collect. He's going to get tagged up. Ultimate online if he needs to escape, but they don't actually opt to fight him after.
You should run. Can't use that yet.
Lockdown going to be put into play. CNED going to try and hold on until the very last second, wanting to try and catch someone as they go peeking. They're not going to. He needs to escape, and that's exactly what he'll do into the retake, as they now will get that B site.
Still has his ulti to play with as well. Angel, what? He's caught them with their pants down. That's the spike on the floor. The final nail in BBL's coffin. Surely they can't hear a thing. The night